exactly the corona lanjang technerasi
corona lanjang technerasi
I couldn't see the corona dingam punchi saukai mai kaida
First, the top news headlines. Parking of vehicles continued along the sides of Rims Road despite notifications issued by the government. LDA workers and Labour Employee Union staged sit-in protest over 7th Pay Commission demand. Mabba organized 12th Mr. Kanglei Park Bodybuilding Championship. And India registered 9,765 new cases of COVID-19 and 477 deaths in the last 24 hours. Hello, good evening and welcome. This is ELITETV with the Primetime English News Bulletin and I'm your host HEMABATI. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOP given by the government. Wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly and maintain a minimum of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play our part in the fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. Numerous vehicles continue to park along the sides of Rims Road, a major route to many hospitals of the state, despite the notifications issued by the government for non-parking of vehicles in the said location. The numerous parking of the vehicles not only causes traffic jam, but also disrupts the routes of the ambulances. Elite News gives an exclusive news regarding the said issue as road mishaps continue to occur in the said area.
Lamdam Sigi, Quaidagi Saw Hospital, Amoriva Regional Institute of Medical Sciences, Rims Yauna Tongan Manipur Maru Hospital Kayana, Lairiva, Mayamna, Rims Road Harazu Hingna, Kanga River Lampel Gimafam Asida, Rims Road Tanawagi Maru Lambi Oriva, Uripoklom Dagi, Sangak Tuna, Langul Bimamang, Fargalak, Liver Lambi, Amadi, Nagamapal Dagi Sanglak Tuna, Ta River Rims Road Kilambi Paring Asida, Miamna, Lambigi Nak yet the Garising comes in Badagi, Achoba. Ana layengi ambulance na singba gari sing lakpada traffic jam thokpadagi khudong thiba thokpa kaya yawgi paw leire haiduna Imphal West ki district deputy commissioner na lambi gi naget ani asida gari khamjindana bagi order thokhiba leirabasu ngasing asimak mafam asida lambi asida gari thauriba amadi dukan phamliba sing asigi mioi singna Masa gi apa mamongda gari sing adu khambagi mami sauna tari loinana lambi gi nak yeta ngasing maksu gari sing khamjilli loinana gari sing asi khamjinbada chumna khamambagi mahutta lambi mayai da faw khamjinbagi fibam sing asi miyamna adumak thengnari loinana hauji akoina leijari ba mafam asi dasu uwa phangli
ki akoi ge area sida lambi ji khubuni na gari ji bor saib khamjanba sida lambi Ida gari accident of Wangang, we show for Kopayam, Yawi, Masigi, Ketang, Haidare, Lavaki, Angatoma, Nakari, can be no conde, Mazi Hanadi, Lam Cotton Kamani boards, I come to the Akoye traffic Amuna Suyamna, Honabi, Adu or so, Adum, Parzana, Yanta, Watpanina, Adum, Haidare.
Langaki mai kai dagi thokribo order asi miyam na khangwa wat padagira natraga khangna masagi khudongsa ga daw yenglaga khamlibra haibisisu achowa naina ningai ama oibada natana mafam sing asida leiriba yum singi mapu singnasu lambi ani asida gari punna khamjalakudagi accident toina thokpa yauna tongan ba thodok ya thokli hainasu pogdam lakli adum oinama lenga ki mai kai tagi su order asi thokraga tuminna leikrabra haibasi su acho wahang ama oibada natana matam kharagi oina order thoklaba matung matam kharagi oina yengsilamba natana matam tung koina sangna lambi ani asida aran thabak tawriba gari thorokpa miyosing asibu phana bai damakta kari karamba thorang paikhatlibage haibadugi matangdadi amu hanna yengsiningai oiribra haibasi achoba wahangni video journalist Kritipasana Songgol loinana Elite News ki damak paudam jeriba Moirangthem Nganbrel Nagampal Rims Road.
A sit-in protest was staged at the gate of LDA office by workers of LDA and Labour Employee Union. The Secretary of Labour Employee Union, Pukrambam Shyamkumar, stated that the workers were protesting for non-payment of Manipur government's 7th pay commission, and they declared they will continue with the demonstration if their demands are not met. He added there will be stronger movement and protestation starting from the 4th of December if the government continues ignoring their demands.
ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯇꯧꯖꯔꯤꯁꯦ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛ ꯗꯤꯕꯦꯂꯞꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯊꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤꯅꯦꯕ ꯑꯃꯔꯣꯝꯗꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛ ꯗꯤꯕꯦꯂꯞꯃꯦꯟ ꯑꯣꯊꯣꯔꯤꯇꯤꯗ ꯂꯩꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯦꯆꯤꯜ ꯍꯦꯚꯤ ꯃꯦꯆꯤꯜ ꯚꯦꯍꯤꯀꯜ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯆꯥꯎꯔꯕ ꯗꯤꯄꯥꯔꯠꯃꯦꯟ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯁꯤ ꯑꯃꯠꯇ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤꯅꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯖꯥ ꯄꯨꯝꯕꯒꯤꯅꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔ ꯈꯛꯇ ꯅꯠꯇꯦ ꯋꯥꯔꯜꯒꯤꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛ ꯍꯥꯏꯕꯁꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯁꯨꯛꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯉꯁꯥꯏ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯑꯏꯪ ꯑꯁꯥꯗ ꯑꯁꯨꯛ ꯕꯦꯂꯦꯟꯁ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯝꯕ ꯂꯣꯛꯇꯥꯛꯄꯨ ꯀꯔꯥꯏꯗ ꯃꯥꯡꯈꯤꯗꯒꯦ ꯀꯔꯥꯏꯗ ꯀꯩꯗꯧꯒꯗꯒꯦ ꯁꯦꯟꯅꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯇꯣꯝꯕꯤ ꯃꯆꯥꯗꯧꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ 7 ꯄꯦ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯗꯅ ꯉꯁꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯊꯝꯕꯤꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ 7 ꯄꯦ ꯄꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯒꯅ ꯋꯤꯗꯥꯎꯠ ꯅꯣꯁꯅꯦꯜ ꯏꯐꯦꯛꯇ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯏꯃꯤꯗꯤꯌꯦꯠ ꯏꯐꯦꯛꯇ ꯄꯤꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯕ ꯀꯦꯕꯤꯅꯦꯠ ꯐꯝꯂ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯂꯕ ꯊꯧꯑꯣꯡ ꯊꯧꯗꯥꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯏꯝꯄ꯭ꯂꯣꯌꯤꯁꯤꯡꯅ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯤꯟꯗꯥ ꯇꯧꯏ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯗꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ 7 ꯄꯦꯁꯤ ꯐꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯙꯔꯅꯥ ꯐꯪꯒꯅꯤ ꯇꯥꯡ ꯑꯃꯗꯩꯅ ꯇꯥꯡ 3 ꯐꯥꯎꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯇꯥꯡ 4ꯗꯒꯤꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯃꯈꯟ ꯃꯈꯥ ꯀꯌꯥꯒꯤ ꯑꯦꯖꯤꯇꯦꯁꯟ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯆꯪꯁꯤꯟꯗꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯗꯤꯃꯥꯟꯁꯦ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯐꯪꯗ꯭ꯔꯤ ꯐꯥꯎꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯛ ꯁꯤꯖꯣ ꯁ꯭ꯇ꯭ꯔꯥꯏꯛ
Intending candidate of Uripok Assembly constituency and retired IAS KH Raghumani said that sport players generally don't involve themselves in drugs. The remark was made during the 12th Mr. Kangleipak Bodybuilding Championship organized by Manipur Amateur Bodybuilders Association MABA at Nagampal Lainingthau Ishingchaiba Laibung. The championship was participated by many bodybuilders from various parts of the state. A COVID vaccination program was also organized by a team of Doctors for You as part of the program. Raghumani further said that the organization of such kind of championship will further improve the players of the state.
For a better society. Society means look at the whole society like healthy organization, modern to modern. For the issue of that, for the hello to the Masuari, hello to the Ari, my relation from the Nation. Who knows that other environmental system, so that I have to start using the law, the end of the day, the end of the day. I think we need to put down the Mayana. Amara open to you, I'm happy about the respect of you, the interest of you, and the Pumi Maki, the second of what I want to hurry here, Amaro, they will do the best in the state, but Amaro, very
India registered 9,765 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. India's total tally of COVID-19 cases rose to 3,46,06,541, while the active cases increased to 99,763, according to the Union Health Ministry data updated on Thursday. The death toll climbed to 4,69,724, with 477 fresh fatalities, according to the data updated at 8 a.m. The daily rise in new coronavirus infections has been less than 50,000 for 158 consecutive days now. The active cases comprise 0.29% of the total infections, the lowest since March 2020, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate was recorded at 98.35%, the ministry said. India crossed a grim milestone of 2 crore on May 4 and 3 crore on June 23. Assam Rifles today recovered 53 cases and 47 loose packets of V Valiant mild cigarettes. Foreign origin cigarettes worth Rs 70 lakh 12,200 at Champhai district, Mizoram. The operation was carried out by a joint team of 8 Assam Rifles, 11 Assam Rifles and representative of Customs Department, Champhai, based on specific information. The Customs Department Champhai seized the contraband items and detained one individual on 1st December 2021, and further legal proceedings are still going on. Ongoing smuggling of foreign origin cigarette is a major cause of concern for the state of Mizoram, especially along the Indo-Myanmar border. Impulse NGO's Network Shillong State Partner New Life Foundation Manipur, in association with Childline Bishnupur team members, continued with their relief support to different beneficiaries and groups in connection with COVID-19 pandemic. The event was organized on 30th November and 1st December, and the team members distributed ration items to young adolescent football players, widows, and to the fishing community living in and around Loktak Lake at Bishnupur district. The relief aid reached 145 beneficiaries who expressed their happiness and appreciated the gesture. Joint Committee on Inner Line Permit System JCI-LPS convener B.K. Moirangcha said ILP is regulated just for procuring more voters during the event of handing over of student wing convener file to the former MSU President Hawbijam Chalamba. B.K. Moirangcha continued that the committee found that even though the ILP is regularized, the continuing drive, which began from November 11 to check if outsiders of the state has proper documents and related papers, there are still 1,115 outsiders and 610 persons could not produce any documents, while another 400 stayed in the state with just a token. Furthermore, there were another 105 people who had just the forms but have not submitted yet. B.K. Moirangcha added the drive is not anti-India, but to ensure the rules and regulations of ILP are securely maintained as per the law.
Mito mian chag influx torok liba sibu thamba chalambadagi hippa chalangiba lenga adu kana gi matam gi lenga no hangnar ko matam da ngasi gi lenga asine ni hayok loi dabi maram leibra ngasi gi lenga sing ache yamna puksen chengde thabak tawbada vote ki ta torakan da makoi gi propaganda ama madu lokhon no phone aduna ngasi gi miam koi section minasi amadi lenga su wakal tabiu thamjari wafam sa aikoina aikoi wafam si anti India waina koi haibnate anti mayang waina haibnate lamdam sigi leijaiba ILP gi rule and regulation gi makhada koi yam phadana leminasi haibneba adu matam loiragana Manipur gi masi halanbi ko mathau taw leragana anu pass ma loraga changan biro natragati masi yamna khudung thingai oe masi lengang na chap chana thabuk oina masi packet pigadaw ne habse JCLPS ki maike degi ngasi lengak ta akoi achet pa wafam kanno wafam oina koina request oraga masi.
On the other hand, Chalamba said that there are numerous immigrants with no proper documents staying in the state illegally, though the state has imposed ILP strictly. He further said that it is high time for the renters, entrepreneurs and others to put a thought for safeguarding the natives of the state before it is too late.
Paibiriba, Equigi, Mantri Oriba, Emile Oriba, Sing Asina, so Equiga, Puxel Singdaba Manva Monda, Equina, Mintagi Oina, Equigi, Bot Pomayana, Manva Mongo in the Tarakanda, Equigi, ILP, the Hibaki, the mother than a city, Equid, Tasing Tasina, Lamdamesi, Mikan, Gadavani Hibaki, Asitpa, Equigi, Tamoidi, Oiba, Nusiba, Adumudi, Equid Mamita, Ude, Adumakana Maram, Oirakanda, Nasidi, Equina Mito Mianza, Sing as Adum, as ILP and Hiragasu, Masing Lakamdana, Adumakin got with him Uri. Lady Befem Asida, Lamdamsi, the Libya. Koina Baras Handopiri Sinau Sing, Aduga, Tungan Hiram Sing, the Libya Carbarwa, Sinau Sing, Aduga, Lam Atopa State Car, Equilam Sika Ponto Pontin Tonobiriba, Transport Libya Sinau Sing, Amadi, Equil Club Organization Sing, Aduga Tabak Viriba Saka, Amata Tidana, Equipuna, Uchen Sing Minadragadi, Equinasi Uriba, Manipur Asa, Nasim Matung Dagidi, Amuka and Pim Sopa, Mitomian Sasina, Lonam Paising Kanda, Equisa, Makugi Matung Ilakan, Yanu, Pivamakata, or the Kenya Habis and Mayam Kanama. Coming to the
Now, before we move on, it's time for a short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Sayon Hospital na Hagsel gi Maikaida awon ba ama purakna bagi khongthangda Nambol Bazar gi Koireng Road ta hospital ama hangdoktuna ana laing gi khudong chaba piba hauzare. Medicine, ENT, Gynecology, Orthopedics, Pediatrics na chingba departments kaya amada laing bachathari. 24/7 gi facilities piduna X-ray, ultrasound, special and routine laboratory test kaya tawbagi khudong chaba su pizari. Sayon Hospital asina adom gi isabu na deyekta na lainaba laing naba hotnabada achoba thodang lauduna adom gi punsibu nungayay faba punsima oina bagi pandam thamli. Didim lambida tangna tomthin nga liba hospital asina adom gi laing bagi maikaida achoba thodang lauzari. Zion Healthcare and Research Institute, Nambol Makha, Koireng Road. Contact number 0385 2956 711.
Lamdam asigi launi singi ahangba lamsingda thabi hauro Mahindra company amadi Holland country gi Heiss ZPC company ga punna tissue culture tawraga puthokchaba asengba alu char iramdam asigi leibak le hawa yamna chunaraba alu angangba Lady Rosetta amadi alu angogba karfi joti makhalani mak pambiragani supnatagi alu piece amana alu kg ama hena puthokpa ngamba alu makhalni iramdam asibu sabu ongnaba alu puthoklasi asengba alu char tharsi Sarnaba alu kundok khakna maton thoklaga semba alu chara tharagum si haiba kholao amagaloina sahi ahum sugna chatharakpa mission amagi makhada pujarakpa alu chara singni mipal tangdana iramdam asida alu gi awapa lehelagum si lengsing birau ngasimak Mahindra tractor showroom Malong Bazar Lintoi House Kaksing Bazar adongi ahangba phumsingda alu thabiduna iramdam asida alu gi awapa lehelagum si.
Welcome back. More news and updates. 113 Battalion Border Security Forces BSF held its 57th Raising Day at Tactical Headquarters, Loktak, and other CI posts of Manipur. A feast was also organized along with the retired personnels and families of the deceased personnels. Speaking on the occasion, Battalion Commandant Hidam Subol Singh appreciated the BSF for their services in guarding the Indo-Pak and Indo-Bangladesh borders. He added that the BSF personnel also have huge contribution in election duty, civic action program, disaster relief operation and many others. He further added that the title People Friendly Force was given to the personnel for their services to the border BSF. BJP Lilong Mandal organized one-day political conference at Lilong Haurebi College ground. Speaking on the occasion, Chief Minister of Manipur, Nongthombam Biren, talked on the differences that are witnessed in the state, drawing comparison to the former and the present government. He continued that the BJP government has introduced various schemes that are beneficial to the people of the state. He further said that the sanctioning of the 10 crore budget for the construction of Makha Lilong Market and Lilong Hajj House was a huge success for the BJP party. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, BJP President Sharda Devi, Agricultural Minister O. Lukhoi Singh, Lilong AC MLA Y. Antaz Khan, BJP intending candidate M.K. Anwar Hussain and Minister Education and Fisheries S. Rajin Singh were the main guests of the event.
Sinjak no bisara tanjari go koina isa do na traga ipuro do na traga inupido hospital da puro no na mamete ki mapi ta na are ibn na thum yo laga khana isi de am pira be ko e ko sarkar sila timi ma ngasi di bodo honorable prime minister Narendra Modi ji ki edu scheme Ayushman Bharat ki makhada lupa lakh manga bi free da fikao ga hapoga bet ta hapoga thamakanda Adugunda Sarkar Sigi, BJP government Sigi, Lupa Lak Ani free the line number, Madu bet Fika, Hapaga Tamakada, Sarkar Sarai, Padu BJP government.
President of Chalo Booth Level Committee, BJP, and also the serving executive member of Chalo Village Development Committee, Wahingbam Jiten, held a press meet at the Press Club, Major Kul today. He clarified on the recent incident involving a confrontation with a boy named Helen, wherein he barged into Helen's house and threatened him with a knife. He said the accusations were false and baseless. He added the charges made against him through the media by Secretary of Chalo Mera Paibi Wahingbam Ranjita are without any facts or foundations and demanded her to tell the truth by tomorrow. He further stated Wahingbam Ranjita should not involve the CSO and seek their help because it is wrong to do so. He insists that if Wahingbam Ranjita or her husband, Wahingbam Imo, did not issue an apology or an explanation, then they should be responsible if the issue further escalates.
Akhoi Chalo Kulasida, Lairiba, Helen Kobanipa Macha Ama Gaiga, Katnai Haidana, Aduga Aina Tang Paraga Agi Imu, Manung Hupna, Yauna. Thang Paraga Mangonda Aki to Jung Halle Haidana, Akhoi Kaversida, Huyela Pau, Rangi Sita Tianga Badagi, Hairiba, Wahingbam Ranjita, Hairiba, Nupi Sina, Maira Paibigi, Mingda, Aibu, Manipurgi, Lairiba, Organization Sing, Adi, Atay Dagi, Kanun Niriba Siraida, Hazit Patanunda, Sibogi Manungsida, Patanunda, Aibu, Karigumba. Kudung Tiba Tuagadi, Hariba Nupi Sina, Wahingbam Ranjita, wife of Wahingbam Imo, Hariba Sina, Masi Punamaki Rikse, Ubigadawani.
EMSU announced that they have conducted their own investigation and revealed that the Education Department approved the construction of 3 new schools at Hairog, Thoubal district under the Sarva Siksha Abhiyan SSA 2012-2013 project. However, out of the 3 schools construction, 2 schools were not even under the process of construction. They started the plot of land allotted by the Education Department was not the one the only school was built at, but it was allocated to a property belonging to a different person. In a press conference held at head office of EMSU, the General Secretary of EMSU, Thongam Bikramjit, questioned why the government remained silent on the issue when there are documents available proving the wrongdoings of the concerned department. EMSU found out even the only constructed school was not the same structure the Education Department designed. The union appealed to the government to initiate action against the concerned authorities immediately. They also condemned the incorrect statement issued by a teacher, Tekcham Bikomdash Maite, on November 18 and expressed discontent at the way EMSU was being shown in bad light and in trying to malign the union, and further added they took the matter very seriously.
Mamang press conference the Mahaki Maming Pankima mentioned to by Kushua Yaudi, Adu the Mahangam, Mahaki Masat, and Ramada Haibani, Pakat Pakuran Zarubagi, Mahak Mayan, the Pundu 7 have to Ihal and Haitanimi, school the Sida Sahi, Mangataru, Surabasi, how the Lushandabagi Madam Karino, School Adukis Havada, Yawada, boys and girls, toilet, kitchen, RCC Rubing, Amadin Istiar Kadai Lake Rabagi, Madu Miam, Kanga Masana, Sindok Trabadi, Madu Emsuna. Magi Sabsaba report EMSU the Hosi, a quick study the EMSU the Lake, Aduga Ahumsu, the high report of Zabicom Das Asina, school Ani, high with Ingalo Mata primary, Amazu Ngalo Asoba primary school, a Sipasa Kai Bigi Mana, a quick Mahana say, sing a set or a guy, say Manasing, Saptana, a quick school, and University Man, Senate Magia has a Masana sign, or a guy, Mana, a quick Kutalay Haidare. Akoina masigi patang ji school home sida chenari bo ojasing amasung the lothokriba missing the tika lowriba missing ado athubada adu MLA sinagara minister sinagara matam du chenari ba mi pung pudima AIG yo chenawi yaroma su department chenawi yarom su atu de
Ijairong Booth Level Committee organized a program on majority declaration of Ijairong village for Huri Golmai, State BJP Executive Member and intending candidate 53 Tamenglong Assembly Constituency ST at Ijairong Village, None District. As part of the event, Shoal was presented to the intending candidate and B. Kangchuzin handed over the declaration document to Huri Golmai. The document mentioned that 31 houses out of the total 52 houses supported the intending candidate in the upcoming election. Speaking on the occasion, Huri Golmai talked on the need of a good leader in the district to bring about positive changes. He continued that the villagers will not be able to avail the benefits of the various government schemes with the absence of a good leader. He appealed to people to choose the rightful candidate in the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly election. He further assured that he will bring positive changes in health sector, education, connectivity, women's empowerment, alternative arrangements for shifting cultivation, and will also hand over other developmental projects to the people. On the other hand, biodegradable handbags were also distributed to the attendees. Leaders of Awangkul and Hauchong segments, youth leaders, women leaders, village authorities, and other prominent leaders attended the event.
Migan ko kat panun rawang tung bumang padik minun rinani gang khana khoram nga gang khat kuni gang khat kuni ani uthan bigan ko rawang ni sang lalo de ni salothe ispang ni pham lung ko rawang ra ko amang gang de lo de tung dat nang bam to mi ko amang tong rawang tong nu mai airina riu ka hi meeting thai.
Now, before we move on, it's time for a short break once again. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
To touch the pinnacles of success for your children, get enrolled to one of the finest schools in Northeast India, UNESCO School, Excellence in Education.
Ai khôi biết sinh ca ple se, ai khôi biết sinh ca ple se. Hòn những quân sĩ sao khát khổ thăng, hành trình lệ si, cha kinh gia thì khai tên là corona lan chân thịnh lệ si. Ai khôi biết sinh ca ple se, corona bị ngâm lệ si. Quân sĩ sao khát, nói cây ta.
Asimune, I pun besin kap thokuna, corona denga thokuna, hani punsibu hanjano hanabada, adon bisrok yabi.
Welcome back. More news and updates. Nagaland Chief Minister Nephew Rio said the peace talks between the centre and Naga rebel outfits, including NSC and IM, have reached an important stage. Chief Minister Rio on Wednesday said that he is hopeful of an early resolution to the decades-old Naga political issue. He said the Nagas continue to earnestly wait for a solution, adding that the state's elected leaders have come together to form an opposition-less government, United Democratic Alliance, to facilitate an early settlement of the problem. He further added that through this united front, they aim to convey the voice of the people to all stakeholders involved in the negotiations. He said Nagaland achieved statehood close to 6 decades earlier, and the quality of life of its people has improved significantly since. Despite achievements in various fields, a lot remains to be done. The government is committed to taking necessary steps for all-round development and to ensure that people are provided with the best opportunities for growth and progress. The BJP has slammed West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee for allegedly disrespecting the national anthem after she was seen standing up midway of the national anthem during a press conference in Mumbai on Wednesday. In videos doing rounds on social media platforms, Mamata can be seen sitting again, finishing the anthem abruptly. A leader of Mumbai BJP has also filed police complaint against Banerjee for showing utter disrespect to the national anthem by allegedly singing it while in sitting position and then abruptly stopping after 4 or 5 verses. On Wednesday, the Trinamool Congress TMC Supremo was in Mumbai to meet Nationalist Congress Party NCP Chief Sharad Pawar to make a pitch for unifying opposition parties against the ruling BJP at the centre. She also addressed a press conference during which she sang the national anthem, but stopped midway and concluded by saying Jai Maharashtra. No TMC leader has reacted to the incident as of yet. Meanwhile, with an eye on Delhi, the TMC chief on Wednesday met Sharad Pawar at his residence on the second day of her 3-day visit to Mumbai. Following the meeting, Banerjee said that there was no United Progressive Alliance (UPA) left in the country, as she asked opposition parties to come together to oust the BJP at the centre. On Tuesday, Banerjee met leaders of the Shiv Sena, the biggest constituent of Maharashtra's ruling alliance that also comprises the NCP and Congress. South Africa's new cases of COVID-19 nearly doubled in a day, authorities reported Wednesday, signaling dramatic surge in the country where scientists detected the Omicron variant last week. New confirmed cases rose to 8,561 Wednesday from 4,373 a day earlier, according to official statistics. Scientists in South Africa said they are bracing for a rapid increase in COVID-19 cases following the discovery of the new Omicron variant. Dr. Nixie Gumede Moiletsi, regional virologist for the World Health Organization, said there is a possibility that really they are going to be seeing a serious doubling or tripling of the cases as the week unfolds. South Africa's previous surge, driven by the Delta variant in June and July, saw daily new cases reach a peak of more than 20,000. With a population of 60 million people, South Africa has recorded more than 2.9 million COVID-19 cases, including nearly 90,000 deaths. Standard PCR tests can suggest that a positive case is caused by Omicron, but only a full genetic sequencing can confirm it. Labs in South Africa and Botswana are urgently doing genomic sequencing to study Omicron cases in order to see if it is significantly more transmissible, causes more serious cases of COVID-19, or if it evades protection from vaccinations. Dr. Nixie Gumede Moiletsi said the current data is still very limited, and so there are so many additional characteristics of this virus that the researchers are busy studying, of which transmissibility is one of them. She added that severity is also another, and that researchers also need to find out if current vaccines will still be effective against it. The Omicron variant has been detected in 5 of South Africa's 9 provinces and accounted for 74% of the virus genome sequenced in November, the country's National Institute for Communicable Diseases announced Wednesday. According to OECD chief economist Lawrence Boone, it could cost as little as $50 billion to save the global economy. That's the amount needed to vaccinate the world, a measure that's key to ending the pandemic and tackling the imbalances plaguing the recovery. She added, when you balance things out, $10 trillion for supporting the economy going through the pandemic compared with a tiny $50 billion to bring the vaccine to the entire world population, that looks completely disproportionate. The first number is the amount spent by a group of 20 countries to mitigating the economic impact of COVID-19. She said the emergence of Omicron increases the uncertainty already weighing on the global economic outlook and highlights vaccination shortcomings. While the Paris-based organization didn't directly account for that strain in its new forecast, it emphasized continued pandemic risk and urged governments to address low inoculation rates in some regions so as not to create breeding grounds for deadlier strains. On top of tighter virus restrictions, including renewed lockdowns in some parts, OECD members are battling soaring inflation and hold-ups in global supply chains that are starving factories of components. For ELITETV News Channel, contact to the email address info@elitetv.in or call 940-289-0982 and subscribe to ELITETV YouTube channel or follow on Facebook page, Instagram and Twitter for more information about the channel. Now, before we wind up for the day, let's have a quick look at the headlines once again. Vehicles continue to park along the sides of Rims Road despite notifications issued by the government. LDA workers and Labour Employee Union staged sit-in protest over 7th Pay Commission demand. Mabba organized 12th Mr. Kanglei Park Bodybuilding Championship. And India registered 9,765 new cases of COVID-19 and 477 deaths in the last 24 hours. Now that's all for the day's English News Bulletin. Thank you for being with us. Have a good night.